Hello, welcome back to the channel, and today I have another video. It's a very different kind of video. I'm going to look at an old article talking about Pokemon ripoffs. I was actually working on a different video completely, but this came my way and it just kind of like it was too funny not to kind of like talk about it on video. I just figured like this is perfect. So yeah, spoilers, the video I'm working on is about Pokemon ripoffs. This here was just, I don't know, this is like basically what happens when a toxic Pokemon fan finds out there's loads of other monster raising games within the monster raising game genre. So yeah, let's just check that out really quick. So we're on CBR.com. The name of the article is Nopemon 15 Hilarious Pokemon Ripoffs. I will say it is hilarious, but it's not the rip-offs, as you're calling them, is hilarious. It's literally just the way the article is written is hilarious. You're on about how Pikachu's gonna cry. I mean, like, I swear there was probably some tears shed when you were writing this. But I don't think it was from the copycat franchise's fans. By CBR staff, I wouldn't put my name down on this either. Published June 23, 2017. So basically, they start the article by saying Pokemon was this huge franchise that really took off. I'm not gonna say it wasn't, because it really was, but then they say like how everyone cashed in really copied the idea. There have been knockoff Pokemon video games, manga and animated series. All rip-offs, the level of plagiarism ranges from obscene to subtle. No matter what, they all follow the same basic premise. Kids battle each other to be the best using monsters, animals, robots, dinosaurs, and even food. I mean, like, yeah, you're casting a very wide net there, I will say. I mean, you want literally everything within the monster raising genre to be the Pokemon ripoff. But let's just go down here and see what we got. First off, we have Beyblade, the biggest Pokemon copycat. So let's go really quick. It's like I seen this one today and I just found this one to probably be the funniest. You know, it's just as exciting as kids battling each other using colourful, interesting looking little monsters. Kids battling each other with colourful, less interesting looking tops. Yep, that's the basic premise for Beyblade, a shameless Pokemon ripoff from 1999. I mean, the Pokemon anime is very simple as well. I mean, like, it's not the most complicated thing to follow. It's literally kid gets monster, battles monster, finish show, roll credits, start again, watch and repeat about 20,000 times. But yeah, to say that it was used to sell toys, I mean, there's the other thing. I mean, like, what cartoon wasn't made to sell toys? I think pretty much every cartoon was literally made with the idea of selling merchandise. They all originated as stories from comics or whatever. At least the majority of them did. Like, so I don't understand where this is the Pokemon copycat. Like, this is just the formula used. But okay, let's carry on. We'll see. They might get into it a little bit further down. So a young boy named Tyson brings together a team of good guy battling tops players to take on bad guy battling tops players. Did we mention the battling tops? They're the whole point. It's as if the creators of Beyblade watched Pokemon and decided Pokemon would be way cooler if the characters just threw Pokeballs at each other and no monsters came out. While the rip-off sting is strong on Beyblade, it didn't stop it from becoming a pretty big success, spawning multiple toy lines, animated series, and even a few feature films. I mean, like, nothing sounds similar to Pokemon there. I'm sorry, I genuinely don't see anything similar to Pokemon. The whole, like, I don't know. Am I missing something here? It's like, I don't see the Pokemon comparison. I'm gonna skip on. I'm literally only covering whatever kind of like has my interest. So like Bakugan and stuff like that. I mean, like, this is why I'm only letting you guys like read the article down the end. I'm just gonna cover the stuff that kind of interests me. And here we have 12 out of 15 is Digimon. I'm surprised this one isn't number one. Normally Pokemon fans, this is the number one, but obviously they didn't want to like give this too much attention. Is Digimon. Yes, I'm trying to be a little bit salty here, but I just find it funny. Like, this is all just for laughs. I genuinely couldn't give a shit less. Starting as a way to capitalize on other massive trend of virtual pets, Digimon didn't take long before it became what is popular as one of the biggest Pokemon ripoffs in existence. Digimon is about digital monsters. Get it? They come in contact with kids who help them defend their world from evil forces. These Digimon have the ability to evolve into bigger, badder creatures to help them fight. Sound familiar? I mean, like, yeah, but they're based on the Tamagotchi. Tamagotchi, like, I mean, that's not the Pokemon thing. It was Tamagotchi where the monster would grow as they, you know, the whole thing of Digimon being for boys was they battled. That's where Digimon separated itself from Tamagotchi, was the battles. Bringing it to the anime and video games and stuff as a monster that could battle. Obviously, the evolution within battle would make it more interesting. I don't see... Obviously, like, there are... Look, I'm not going to be that dude that says, "Oh my god, they're so different, they're so different." There are some similarities, but again, that's the genre. That's what that is. I mean, like someone told me the other day, I was on stream, and someone says to me about Shin Megami Tensei and stuff like that being out before Pokemon. I mean, is Pokemon a rip off as well? Because I mean, it had video games that copy the whole monster battle and stuff from SMT. I mean, I don't understand. Is where are we going to? Where do we draw the line on this? Do you know, is it like rule for one but not for the other? It's almost as if Digimon wears this Pokemon plagiarism on its sleeve. Look at the name. They're pretty much saying, if you like Pokemon, come check us out. Then throwing a ton of adorable monsters. I wouldn't call Digimon adorable. Some of them maybe, but I mean, they're not really put across as adorable. I mean, I say that while I'm looking at this Vmon's face up here. But let's face it, that's for the marketing purpose. If you look at some of the other Digimon that are out there, you would not call them adorable. Maybe, maybe, I don't know. So I'm not going to say Digimon is the most original thing ever. But I mean, what ideas are, I mean, every idea comes from somewhere. Something sparks an idea. But I mean, like, saying Digimon is like a complete rip-off. I mean, Digimon has like the whole armor digivolution, it's got like the spirit evolution. There's a lot of different things Digimon does with its mechanics, and that's carried out through its toys, through its video games. Every piece of Digimon media has something different done with it. All I'm trying to do with this video is just show the toxicity and how dumb it is. I mean, like, you can enjoy all of these. You don't have to say Pokemon is the one and only. You can't do that. You know, there's so much other things out there. Fair enough if Pokemon is the only one you enjoy. That's fine. But I mean, like, to pick, and not even pick, it's like nitpick these tiny details and say that it's a ripoff because of this one thing when there's a billion other things within that one franchise that does so differently. The Beyblade thing, you even went off about spinning tops. I don't think there's even a Pokemon spinning top. But anyways, go on, let's carry on. Okay, so a few of you guys spoke to me about Yokai Watch. I don't know about Yokai Watch, so this might give me a little bit of information about that. Maybe you guys can tell me. I don't know much of the differences. I'm not going to lie. I did see this as a Pokemon ripoff, but that was just because I don't know. I suppose I fed into the bullshit, but go on. Yokai Watch is one of the newest franchises on the list, debuting in video games and manga in 2013. Being released almost 20 years after Pokemon and more than 10 years after the most of its entries on this list, it's almost as if Yokai Watch just doesn't even care that it's a clear knockoff. The story is again about a young boy. This time his name is Nate, who... Okay. This boy... It's like, are these supposed to be all like Ash clones? Is that what you're trying to say? Like, Tai is literally Digimon's Ash or whatever? I don't know. I mean, like, every anime, every story in general has a protagonist. Are we not allowed to have protagonists now? Instead of catching monsters in balls or cards, he uses a watch. Like Pokemon, which has the adorable Pikachu, Yokai Watch tried their hand at also having a lovable sidekick monster with their Jibanyan. I don't know. I feel like it's supposed to be something about Nyan being like the way to say like how a cat makes a noise or something. That's what you're gonna say, like the pun on the name. However, that weird cat can't hold a candle to Pikachu. Oh, you're not even gonna argue what the similarity is. You're just gonna say it has a monster. And but it's not Pikachu. I hate it. I mean, like, that's the dumbest thing ever. I don't know. I don't know how to fucking react to this. This is just dumb. Duel Masters is cool. Actually, I believe Joshua Sett actually voiced the guy in that. But again, is one of the ones I just skipped over. Metabots. This is what I'm here for. Damn. Metabots. Metabots is a whole new... Now, Metabots does have a lot of... similarities with Pokemon. I will say that. Now, whether it's a rip-off or not, I don't know, but it does have an awful lot of similarities. Now, not obviously in the battle mechanics or the way they're robots, but just in like the marketing size of it. So I wonder if he'll talk about that. Metabots is a whole new take on Pokemon formula, creating something wholly original. Just kidding, it's a pretty much... Oh my god, the saltiness behind the writing of this is just hilarious. It's no wonder they wouldn't tie their name to this article, because I honestly want to see more articles this person wrote. Metabots is a whole... Not even just because I want to take the piss out of them, it's literally just because I find this hilarious. Like, when I seen this, as soon as I seen it, it's like, oh my god, more people have to read this because this is actually entertaining to read. Icky is a 10-year-old boy who desperately wants to be the best Metabot fighter around, but he can't afford one of the Metabots. He ends up fighting a junker named Metabee. In a rare medallion. I don't think they were called medallions, but okay, let's go on with that. Which makes Metabee a better fighter. Replace pocket monsters with all the robots, and you get Metabots. Oh, okay. So the fact that, again, this is a monster raising, monster battling genre. This is what this is. I don't understand how people don't get that. This is a genre. It's just as like you have action games, you have puzzle games. This is the monster raising genre. I don't understand this. How do people not understand this? Or am I missing something? Maybe I'm wrong. The creators of Metabots saw the incredible success of Pokemon on the Game Boy with their multiple versions. They're going to talk about, okay. Multiple versions of the same game. They decided to take advantage of the same dual game strategy. Unfortunately, Metabots is not Pokemon, and ultimately it didn't work out for them. Games and the short-lived animated series only lasted a couple of years, but there is still fans for all this stuff. Oh, Monster Rancher, here we go. Monster Rancher made it to number 2. Okay, let's see. Because I would have found like Monster Rancher being the least compared to Pokemon, like not like the least comparable elements. So I suppose I just want to see what they're going to write about this one. Monster Rancher is one of the few copycats on this list to start a rip-off and then mold itself into something a little different. To be honest, I don't know about that because I don't know the origin of Monster Rancher or where it came from. Starting with the idea that people would gather monsters and fight them in battles, which is clearly a rip-off of Pokemon. Monster Rancher then added a few other elements to this game. Instead of basic evolving like in Pokemon, Monster Rancher brought in elements of virtual pet games to make it so players had a total control over. But Digimon did that too. Why did you not talk about that? And to be fair, Digimon done that in the very first game. So did Monster Rancher actually on their very first game. So I mean, like already they're so different. I'm not even lying. Like Digimon, even Monster Rancher. I'm just gonna talk about Monster Rancher because there. Monster Rancher, if you play the very first Monster Rancher game, you play the very first Pokemon game, they're completely different experiences. Like Monster Rancher out of all these is probably, I don't want to say the most unique idea but it's got some great elements in there, like the proximity based battles. It's got like the actual VPET stuff going on. It's got your farm. You're still collecting monsters. That's one thing I'll say. But it's like that's the monster collecting genre. That's what it is. I don't know. It's oh man, this is a weird read. This is a weird read as well. Of course, the success of the video game spawned an animated series that borrowed heavily from Pokemon. I don't think so. A little boy gets trapped inside. Okay. He gets trapped inside his game. It's a perfect rip-off of Pokemon. I don't understand this. Where he joins forces with allies to help him search for the elusive Phoenix Stone Disc. This has nothing to do with Pokemon. This game series has stood the test of time and is still beloved among fans today. It actually went missing for a while, but it is back. We actually just got a new Monster Rancher game like 2 months ago. Do check that out. Ultra Kaiju Monster Rancher. I have been interested in it. I'm just trying to get my hands on it. But yeah, I do want to play some of that on the channel too. And of course, number 1 out of 15, the biggest copycat of Pokemon. Of course, the card game Yu-Gi-Oh! Because it copied the TCG, is that what we're going to say? Yes, we know Yu-Gi-Oh! Was released right around the same time as Pokemon, so why does it fall on this list? They were all, pretty much a lot of the ones I've went over, all came out around the same time as Pokemon. I don't know, okay. Don't resemble Pokemon after a huge success of that franchise. Creators decided to morph it into one of the first Pokemon ripoffs. They morphed it into a Pokemon ripoff, okay. Originally, so they were original, but they said, no, let's be Pokemon. Also, I've been reading some of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Mangas. It's not Pokemon. It's very little, like even monster elements. There's not a whole lot of that in it either. It's about various different kinds of board games and stuff. So I mean, like if it's something you're interested in, is very different. Do read the original Yu-Gi-Oh! Manga. It's very interesting. Originally, the story was about a boy who was possessed by a mysterious gambler and used various games to defeat. They're going to talk about here. His opponents. It then morphed into the same boy using a collectible card game played. Actually, I'm going to link Jay Witt's video on Yu-Gi-Oh! In the description because that's a very good kind of like retrospective on what happened and why that change occurred. But we're forgotten, pretty coincidental. Obviously, fans ate it up and Yu-Gi-Oh! Became a massive hit and become a major fan. So, okay. Just remember that it owes a lot to Pokemon. Is that literally the words you're going to end this on? Okay, it is. And you wouldn't title yourself down the end. Okay. Yeah, I don't get this article. This article was just like, what's the term? A nothing burger? Is that what they call it? That's what this is. It's complaining for the sake of complaining. Honestly, from the franchises I spoke about in this article, I do highly recommend people check them out. If you're interested in Monster Rays and stuff, do check them out. They actually have great things going for them. It is a horrible kind of like unfortunate event that like the 90s boom of monster raising just like now is resurgence of like superheroes and stuff is coming around. Everything is a rip-off, everything's a knockoff. If you go back at them, do check them out, because there are some exceptionally well made monster raising games that just they experimented with so many different ideas. So much cool stuff came out of it as well, and unfortunately you just got swept away because of the hatred between different fan bases. It's just dumb. I really don't like this kind of like scenario that's been happening. But yeah, I am glad that nowadays monster raising genre is actually getting its resurgence again. People are starting to look into more things. I mean, like, even when indie games like Coromon can come out and make a big splash in like the whole monster raising kind of pool, and it's like everyone can kind of say, damn, this is something cool. I mean, like, that's a good sign. That's a step away. I mean, like, even the whole Pokemon clone thing is starting to die down. Now it's a monster taming game, monster raising game. So yeah, I do recommend checking out some of these franchises, especially Monster Rancher. Monster Rancher is one of my favorites here, and Metabots. Damn, there's actually quite a few good ones. But to be just like kind of discredit them by saying they're just a rip-off or a knockoff, it's just not. It's just dumb. It's just dumb. I've no words. I'm actually lost for words of how dumb this is. But yeah, I thought this was funny. Do look out for that documentary I have coming out soon. And I'll see you again. Bye bye.